Imagine a man who left his home with only $40 in his pocket and an unshakable belief that stories could reshape the world. He carried nothing but ambition, imagination, and a stubborn refusal to give up. What he eventually built from that modest beginning became far more than a company. It became a cultural mirror, a childhood memory factory, and one of the most powerful entertainment empires in human history. Yet behind the cheerful parades, the glowing theme parks, the smiling characters, and the iconic songs, there were desperate financial gambles, intense creative battles, and controversies that forced the company to constantly evolve. This is the story of Disney, the dreams that built it, the risks that nearly destroyed it, and the continuous reinventions that kept it alive against all odds. In the next 15 minutes, we will trace Disney's extraordinary journey from a small, struggling animation studio into a global media and entertainment giant. We will meet the people who risked everything for imagination, explore the innovations that transformed modern entertainment, and also confront the controversies that continue to shadow the magic. Disney, the business of wonder, transitioned from sepia tones into vibrant modern color grading. Walt Disney's journey begins with simple sketches, endless imagination, and stubborn optimism that refuse to fade. Born into a working-class family, he discovered early that drawing and storytelling could be more than a hobby. They could be an escape, and eventually, a destiny. After an early business failure with Laugh-O-Gram, Walt moved to Los Angeles carrying raw ambition, limited resources, and a handful of unfinished ideas. The early struggles were very real. Unpaid bills piling up, staff constantly changing, and the harsh realization that pure creativity without a sustainable business model often collapses under pressure. Walt continued experimenting relentlessly, refining characters, studying timing, and building creative partnerships that would shape his future. Before Mickey Mouse, there was Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, an early success that later turned into a painful betrayal when Walt lost the rights to the character. That loss became a turning point. It taught him something critical: ownership, control, and the legal foundations of creativity matter just as much as imagination. Then came Mickey Mouse, simple in design, expressive in emotion, and perfectly timed for the era of synchronized sound. When Steamboat Willie premiered, audiences were stunned. They were not just watching animation, they were witnessing personality brought to life. That moment proved animation was no longer a novelty. It had become a true form of cinematic performance art. By the mid-1930s, Walt Disney faced a life-changing decision: continue producing short cartoons that were safe and profitable, or risk everything on a radical idea: creating the world's first full-length animated feature film. Many in the industry dismissed the idea entirely. Some even mockingly called it Disney's folly. Theaters were skeptical too. They believed audiences would never sit through 90 minutes of drawn characters. Walt made a series of extraordinary decisions. He mortgaged personal assets, convinced hesitant investors, and insisted on unprecedented production quality. Full orchestral scoring, detailed shading, and emotionally driven character animation. The studio worked under immense pressure for years, constantly refining techniques that would later define the entire animation industry. When Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs finally released in 1937, it was not just a commercial success. It was a cultural milestone. Critics called it revolutionary. Audiences emotionally connected with characters who sang, cried, and expressed genuine, human-like emotion. Economically, it transformed Disney into a financially stable powerhouse. Creatively, it elevated animation into a respected cinematic art form and scale. Global events tested Disney's resilience in unexpected ways. During World War II, the studio shifted production toward government contracts, training films, and propaganda support content. This transition affected talent availability, budgets, and international distribution channels. Still, Disney adapted and survived through strategic flexibility. After the war, Disney expanded rapidly into films, television, and theme parks. But this growth introduced new complexity. The company evolved from a small creative studio into a structured corporation with departments for finance, legal, and marketing, all influencing creative decisions. Walt's leadership style, visionary, demanding, and sometimes unpredictable, defined the studio's culture. He inspired loyalty and excellence, but also created internal tensions that later surfaced in labor disputes. As Disney's influence expanded globally, so did scrutiny. Older films contained elements that modern audiences critique: racial stereotypes, gender limitations, and cultural simplifications shaped by their era. These issues sparked ongoing debates about preservation, editing, and historical context. Beyond content, Disney also faced criticism for its corporate power. Concerns included market dominance, cultural homogenization, environmental impact, and displacement issues linked to large developments. Activists and communities often raised valid questions about responsibility and balance. Disney's responses included updates, apologies, and social responsibility programs. But debates continue over whether surface changes are enough without deeper structural reform. In recent decades, Disney transformed its strategy through major acquisitions. In 2006, it acquired Pixar, securing world-class animation talent. In 2009, it purchased Marvel, unlocking a vast universe of interconnected characters. In 2012, it acquired Lucasfilm, bringing Star Wars under its control. Later, it absorbed major assets from 21st Century Fox. These moves were not just expansion, they were strategic integration of intellectual property across platforms. Disney built a franchise ecosystem where characters operate across films, streaming, merchandise, and theme parks. This created powerful cross-platform synergy and predictable audience engagement. However, it also raised concerns about creative risk-taking, as franchises often overshadow original storytelling. The rise of streaming disrupted traditional media forever. Instead of selling content to networks, companies now needed to own distribution and own directly. In 2019, Disney launched Disney Plus, entering the global streaming competition. This shift made data a core asset. Viewing habits, engagement patterns, and recommendation systems became central to content strategy. It also allowed Disney to revive its vast content library for new audiences. However, streaming is expensive. Producing global content requires massive investment, constant production, and competitive pressure against platforms like Netflix and Amazon. As Disney scaled, creative professionals increasingly expressed concerns about corporate oversight. Many argued that risk-taking declined as franchises became safer financial bets. Yet Disney still produces original and experimental content alongside major blockbusters. This creates a dual reality. Corporate stability funds large projects, but it can also restrict creative freedom. The challenge ahead is finding balance between innovation and financial security. Disney is now a global storytelling platform. From Shanghai to São Paulo, audiences expect representations that feels authentic and meaningful. This requires collaboration with local creators and cultural sensitivity in storytelling. Localization efforts on platforms like Disney Plus are steps forward, but true authenticity requires deeper structural commitment. Emerging technologies are reshaping storytelling itself. Virtual production, real-time rendering, and AI-assisted creative tools are transforming how films are made. Disney has historically led in technological innovation and now faces another turning point. These tools can democratize production, but also raise ethical questions about labor, ownership, and artistic value. The decisions made today will shape the entire industry's future. Disney's story is ultimately a story of imagination, scale, If you found this history useful, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more documentary shorts. Tell us in the comments which Disney moment surprised you the most, and what topic you want us to explore next.